the follow-up that's needed to build off social trust is now 100 times more important. That's the new gig. It's impressions into conversions, and then how good of a job can you do building the know, like, and trust factor on other mediums after you get them on a list. And if you don't hone in on that, if you don't dial that up right now, you are going to be screwed no matter what you are selling.
Welcome, everybody, to the Chris Harder Show, where we are making you unapologetic about your pursuit of success, knowing that when good people like you make good money, they can then do great things. My name is Chris Harder, and several times per week, I will bring you epic guests, solo episodes, and every single tool, trick, and skill set you need to grow your business, grow your money mindset, and to grow your wealth to levels that you have never reached before. I've ended up in a unique place in life where I've got the experience, the connections, and all of the secrets that it takes to be successful. And I'm lifting the curtain to reveal it all to you in an effort to help put you in a position of abundance so great that you can then be as generous as possible. So let's lock arms and let's get started.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Chris Harder Show, where today I am grateful for my mom. It happens to be Mother's Day. And if you're like, what are you doing recording a podcast on Mother's Day? Hey, listen, this is what it's like to own a big fintech company and invest in 20 other companies and have a big personal brand and all that stuff. Sometimes you just got to take 10 minutes out and make sure you get your podcast in. But it's only 10 minutes out of the entire day. And here's why I say I'm grateful. I'm grateful for two things. I'm grateful to have a mom that, man, did I just strike it rich and get a good one, right? Got one of the legendary ones. And, you know, if you're listening to this, I hope that you got the same thing too. But then I'm grateful for means, because I simply got up this morning, had a nice cup of coffee, jumped on a jet, flew over here, quick 55-minute flight, been hanging out with mom and my brother to celebrate Mother's Day. And I'll hang out till this evening, hop on a jet, fly home, and be home in time for dinner and a sunset with Lori. And if that is not a great life where you get to prioritize the things that are important to you, I don't know what is. And so my gratitude today is for that. And if you're new to the show and you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I'm just such a big believer that when you really concentrate on what you're grateful for, and I call it stopping to take inventory of what you do have instead of always worrying about what you don't have. Well, when you do that, then you realize just how much you have going in your favor, even during the toughest times. And yes, we might be blessed right now, but I know what it's like to go through those toughest times, like 08, 09. Lori and I had to start from way below zero, start all over again. And some of you, you've had that season in the past, and some of you, you have that season right now. But no matter what season you're in, as bleak as it seems, if you stop to literally force yourself to take inventory of what you do have, then you're going to realize, hey, I've got enough for a foundation, even if it's less than I wish I had. And that foundation is enough for me to start building a comeback on. So that's why I share gratitude in the beginning of all my solo episodes. Now, what I'm going to share today in terms of the episode itself is very important. One of the things I love is trends and the economy. And I'm like a nerdy amateur economist. I just love spotting, like, where's business going? Where are things going? And I've noticed three really big changes that I wanted to bring to you and make you aware of, because it absolutely is going to have an effect on your business today and tomorrow, and especially in the near future. So I'm going to share these three big changes that you must be aware of, and then it's up to you to take the information and do what you want with it. So the first of the three big changes is this. The social media algorithms have officially changed, and changed quickly. The TikTokification of the meta platforms is underway, meaning TikTok, if you don't already know this, is an interest-based algorithm. It doesn't matter who you follow on there. The feed that you're going to see the most is 19 out of 20 impressions are going to be of strangers, but showing you something you're interested in. The TikTok algorithm does it better than anything we've ever seen, right? You find yourself in like sad talk, happy talk, business talk, car talk, boat talk, fashion talk, whatever it might be. It's so good at feeding you more of whatever you're interested in that moment. That's what I mean by interest-based algorithm. Not who you're following, but the interest that you seem to be showing interest in that moment. Now, we're seeing it happen on Meta, and it's happening big, and it's happening quickly. What I mean by that is Instagram now. And I don't spend much time on Facebook, to be honest, so you guys can give me feedback on that. But on Instagram, they have switched their algorithm to be doing a lot of the same. I notice more and more every single day when I go on Instagram, I don't see my friends' content anymore. I don't see the people that I followed. I don't see their content anymore. I now see strangers' content, but feeding me stuff that I am very interested in, right? It's all cars and watches and trips and homes and business and all this other stuff. And so the TikTokification, or I should say, the interest-based algorithm is here, and it's here to stay for now. Now, do things change? Will Meta go back to the way it is? Will this backfire, or will this stay permanent? We don't know. But for the near future, it's going to be a long experiment, and it's going to be here for a while. And so how does that affect you? And specifically, how does that affect your ability to market? Well, it affects it big time, and it affects it in a good way, and it affects it in a bad way. And you're probably first going to feel it in a bad way. You're like, God dang it, this has changed. This sucks. Matter of fact, I'm having some of my highest performing friends, let's call them influencers or celebrities, reach out and be like, bro, are you having these same problems? It's what we're all talking about right now. People that build 1 million person followings, 2 million person followings, 5 million person followings, and their following isn't seeing their stuff. But the problem is they have a book coming out, but only the strangers are going to see them posting about their book, or they've got a new product coming out, or they've got a charity that they've always supported. But now the problem is the people that followed them to see the charity, they don't give a shit. They're just following them for whatever interest-based thing. And here's what creates the challenge, you guys. When it was a follower-based algorithm, that meant every time someone logged in and saw your stuff, they were building the know, like, and trust factor. Except now, when it's strangers seeing your stuff for the first time, when you go to sell that book, when you go to do that course launch, when you go to sell that product, whatever it might be, with an interest-based algorithm, it's strangers seeing you trying to sell something, and they don't know, like, or trust you yet. And so the problem is the ability to rely on social media for marketing and sales has changed, and the headwinds are tough. We just got done with our launch of our brand new program, the Mentor Collective Mastermind, which is the most supportive mastermind on the entire internet. And I'll tell you, it went well, but it didn't go great. And the difference was social media was non-existent. Anything we posted, even remotely related to it, none of our followers saw, only strangers. And then the engagement was atrocious. And we saw the sign-up pattern change. Is people that were on our wait list, that did really well. But then the rush that you could always count on from social media before wasn't kind of bad. It was non-existent. So what does this mean for you? Well, number one, followers is no longer the goal on these platforms. Impressions into conversions is. Let me repeat that. This is the most important thing. Impressions into conversions. The ability to create really strong call to actions, really strong opt-ins, right? Like a freebie, something of value. To get that stranger, even though they don't know, like, or trust you yet, to say, holy shit, that thing sounds so valuable. Yes, I will DM you this word. Yes, I will comment this word below because I want that free list, that free tool, that free resource. I want the rest of this post, whatever it might be. You now have to become an expert at creating content that makes them want more instantly to the point where they will comment or DM asking for it. If you don't learn this skill, you are screwed. Let me be that blunt about this, and it's changed that quickly. So your next launch, the next thing you're trying to sell, you're going to see this, and it's going to be painful. You're not going to get any lift from social media, or at least 10 or maybe max 20% lift compared to what you used to get. And so what else does this mean for you? It means that the follow-up that's needed to build off social trust is now 100 times more important. Things like taking them from, like I said, impression to conversion. You converted them into a list, like a email list or a text list, or you got them to subscribe to your YouTube, right? Getting them on a list that you control, and then earning their know, like, and trust factor on things like webinars or really good newsletters or podcasts like this one or a YouTube channel, or even really useful tools that you continue to feed them that they use and are like, holy crap, this is a really good tool. I love this person. What else can I get from them? Even events, guys, you now need to start thinking about events, and not as a profit center, but as a way to help speed up or build this know, like, and trust factor that is not going to happen on social media anymore. And so that's the new gig. It's impressions into conversions. And then how good of a job can you do building the know, like, and trust factor on other mediums after you get them on a list. And if you don't hone in on that, if you don't dial that up right now, you are going to be screwed no matter what you are selling. So that's the first big change. The second big change, people are quickly switching from Google searches to ChatGPT. People are quickly switching from Google searches to ChatGPT. What I mean by that is last night, Lori and I were out for some drinks at the Montage in Laguna. We absolutely love it there. And we're sitting there and we're talking about something. And she's like, let me check. And she grabbed my phone. And instead of using Google, she went right to ChatGPT and Googled, if you will, on ChatGPT, the fact or the thing that we were talking about. In other words, she's already been reprogrammed no longer to Google it, but to ChatGPT it. And so have I, and so have our friends, and so is everybody else that we're talking to. They just go right to ChatGPT now, or maybe Perplexity, or maybe Gemini, or one of the other LLMs out there. Now, why is this important to you? Well, number one, it's happening very quickly. It won't be overnight, but it is happening quickly. For context, there's 30 billion Google searches every day, but there's only about couple hundred million ChatGPT searches every day. So the disparity is still large, but when you look at just a year ago, there were 0 ChatGPT searches, and now people are grabbing it and going there first, to the tunes of a couple hundred million of them a day. That shows you how quickly this is happening. But more important than that, you ready for this? Here's a stat that'll blow your mind. Google searches went down in the first quarter of 2025 for the first time in history. In other words, people Googling it have gone up and up and up and up and up. The number of searches has gone up and up and up and up and up forever, infinitely, until last quarter. And it went backwards. And that is the proof that people are now ChatGPTing it instead of Googling it. And it's only going to grow because you get a better answer faster. Don't believe me that this is going to switch totally over to that? Well, anybody remember the Yellow Pages? I guess I'm really dating myself here, but if you even are old enough to know what a phone book was, you relied on something called the Yellow Pages in the phone book to look up the business, to call the restaurant, to call the grocery store, to call the storage place, whatever it might be. And the Yellow Pages went away as soon as the ability to Google it came out, right? It's just faster and easier to Google it. And this same thing is happening now with these LLMs. It's easier for you to chat it than it is for you to Google it, because when you Google it, you have to look through all the answers. Oh, this one's an ad, that one's an ad, this is a bullshit link. But when you run it through ChatGPT, here's the answers, here's the sources, here's my summary, boom, done. You get an answer right away. That's why it's going to continue to take over. Now, why does this matter to you? Well, if you have always relied for your business on, well, number one, getting your information by Googling it, that's changing. But more importantly, if you've ever relied on SEO or Google ads, that is becoming less and less important and less valuable. The idea of optimizing your SEO is going to become irrelevant. It's all of a sudden, right now, today, less relevant. Now, here's the test for you. ChatGPT yourself. ChatGPT your program. Literally say, tell me about Chris Harder, the podcaster. Tell me about the Mentor Collective Mastermind by Chris and Lori Harder. Tell me about the Elite Entrepreneur Mastermind by Chris and Harder. Tell me, right? Do this for yourself. Tell me about blank and see what comes up. And if you don't like what you see, and most of you probably won't see very much, you now have been put on notice that you have to start producing as much content and getting as much content published on the web as you can, because it pulls from the web. And then it just gives you the summary answer. So this means getting articles about yourself and what you do and what your business and what your products are, writing blogs or having people write blogs about it, having a podcast or being on as many podcasts as possible. YouTube. We're about to hire somebody. The one thing that we've done horrible our whole entire career is YouTube. It's made zero effort towards it. It is making a massive comeback, in part because it's a search engine and stays forever, but in part because it's one of the number one places that ChatGPT pulls from, and Gemini and all these others. So YouTube is making a major comeback. So that means you need to have a strong YouTube presence with lots and lots of content on it, or you're not going to like what comes back, if anything comes back on ChatGPT when people chat you. You know how you used to wiki someone, like a celebrity, like, ooh, I wonder what their net worth is. Ooh, I wonder if they're still on this show. Oh, I wonder what movies they've done. And you would wiki them. Well, the new wiki is ChatGPT. And so when people go to wiki you, aka Google you, aka chat GPT you need to be able to control the amount of content on the internet that it pulls from to give the summary answer. And this isn't like a maybe thing. This isn't a back burner thing. This is you better start producing it now because the clock is ticking and other people are going to produce stuff about you or for you that you don't want, or worse yet, your competitors are going to produce lots and lots of great stuff about themselves. And so when somebody Googles, tell me about the best masterminds available, or sorry, there I go saying Google, when somebody chat GPTs, tell me about the 5 best business masterminds out there. Tell me about the, I'm looking for a women's empowerment event to go to. Which one should I go to? The answers that come up will be in direct correlation with how much content you put out about your event, about your mastermind, about your product, about your whatever. You've been put on notice. This is now a very important part of your team to make a priority. All right. And then the third thing that is totally taking over and changing that you got to be aware of is live shopping. Live shopping is totally taking over. I grew up in a house where mom always had like the home shopping network on QVC, and TikTok Shop, and specifically live shopping on there, is the new QVC. And you see people just stream all day selling. And now they're starting to do it on Instagram. And now they're starting to do it on YouTube. And Instagram's already created a shopping experience to help supply your ability to do this. TikTok started it. YouTube has now created it. So Instagram Live, TikTok Shop, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Amazon Live. Those are the 4 or 5, I guess it's 5 places right now where everyone's live shopping. Gary Vee said it the other day, and I totally agree with him. He said, learn to do this now or get left behind. You've been put on notice. This is here. This is going to be the way to sell, not the old way that you sold in the past at all. So you're going to have to learn how to build the skill set and become very comfortable selling through Instagram Lives, TikTok Shop, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Amazon Live. What do I mean by that? Think like beauty demos, like before and afters, or think supplement education, right? You're selling supplements, or think try-on hauls if you're selling clothing or fashion or something like that. Real-time engagement. Remember I talked about how trust is going away? Real-time engagement builds trust, so that know, like, and trust factor is going to happen when you're engaging with them live instead of some curated post or, curated video or something like that. Real-time engagement builds trust. So you have to build this muscle if you don't already have it. You have to learn to be entertaining. You have to learn to be educational. You have to learn to think and speak on the fly. Listen, if you don't learn the art of presentation, then you must find somebody who can do it for you. Those are your 2 choices coming up. And this is happening, by the way. That's the next big opportunity. If you are a great presenter, if you are great at these skill sets, selling other people's products live is becoming a financial windfall. I know so many people that have left things like network marketing or affiliate marketing, still a form of affiliate marketing, but in the traditional sense, and have started their own TikTok shop selling other people's products, making an extra $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month after the kids go to bed, staying up for 3-4 hours, literally selling live on TikTok shop. This is the next big opportunity. And it means you need to sell your products through it, or you need to learn to sell other people's products through it, or you're going to get left behind. Companies, big, beauty companies, clothing companies, all these things are also hiring skilled presenters. And Lori's going to do this with Glossy, right? Glossy is a beauty hydration company, and there's some other beauty products coming out down the road. She's great at selling live, but she can't sit and do that all day. She has a company to run. So she's going to be hiring other people that are really good at doing this. We have a home studio that we built out, and they're going to come and be able to, local people that are good at this, come and literally sell Glossy products just streaming live on TikTok in the home studio that we built. Matter of fact, we'll be able to stream TikTok Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live, all of those things at once in our home studio. That's where it's going, guys. And so you can be like, oh man, I feel like I got to start from scratch and see it as a bad thing. Or you can be like, oh good. Everyone that was ahead of me before, they already had the big followings. They already had everything figured out. This is my chance to get in, and we're all on an even playing field. That's the message. When these things change, it's not, God dang it, now I got to start over and learn something again. No, it's like, oh yes, if I wasn't one of the have-alls before, right? If I didn't have all the followers, if I didn't have all the email lists, if I didn't have all this stuff before, This is resetting the playing field, and I can learn these traits. I can learn these skill sets faster than other people. So these are the 3 things that are changing the most right now. Live shopping experiences to sell your products, people switching from Googling it to ChatGPTing it, and social media algorithms changing from follower-based algorithms to interest-based algorithms. Now that you know this, it's your job to do something with it. And the irony here is hilarious. If you don't know how to do these things, simply go to ChatGPT and freaking Google it. All right, guys, I hope this is helpful. I always love and appreciate you listening, and I love even more when you slide in my DMs and tell me what you liked, what you learned, what you're doing with it. So don't be bashful. Let's have a chat together. Thanks for listening. Love and appreciate you.
Thanks for listening. And if you loved this episode and know of someone else who is as successful as they are generous, please pass them on to me. It would mean the world to me if you help me get this cause and this message out to as many listeners as I can. So please, if you liked what you heard, it goes a long way if you take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review and share this with your friends. I'll be forever grateful. And until the next episode, cheers to your success.